G'day everybody, welcome to the Eastbourne Rugby Football Club here in Wellington, New Zealand. Little slice of paradise here at this rugby ground where my kids played all their junior rugby, and it's nice to be down here today doing my vlog at my local ground. Now I know that I said that I was going to do these more regularly, but as coaches out there you'll understand that time becomes a very valuable commodity, and when you've got the pressures of holding down a full-time job as well as maintaining a family and coaching, something's got to give, and in my case the vlogs have. So apologies that I haven't done them more regularly, but I'm here today to give you a bit of a catch up on how things have gone, some of the challenges I've faced this year, and how I've used the Rugby Site to help me coach a team for the first time. And I'm going to say it's been a really positive experience, and I really want to mention coaches, how I'll take my hat off to you guys as coaches, because the time and energy and commitment that you put into coaching a rugby team is huge, and without people like you the game wouldn't be the same. So I really respect what you do as coaches, and totally understand now why you do what you do. So how's the team gone this year, I hear you ask? Well, as you know, I'm a rookie coach, so I had a hell of a lot of challenges to face in my first season of coaching, first 15 level. But that said, we set some goals early on in the piece. One of them was to win our grading games, which we did. We won all three, and that put us into first division, which was the first time in over 10 years our school and team have been in that position. So it was a huge achievement for us, and one that we're really proud of. But sometimes you've got to be a little bit careful about what you wish for, because winning our grading games meant we've been thrust into Division 1. And being in Division 1 in Wellington is quite a big deal. There's a lot of very strong traditional rugby schools in this area, and so being a smaller school, we've faced a few big challenges. We've had a few big losses, but that said, in those losses we've had some moments of those games where we've really challenged the opposition and played some brilliant rugby. So the guys have gone okay, and they've still turning up to practice, and very positive attitude about their rugby. So all in all, it's been a pretty positive season, even though we don't have any wins on the board in our competition. So one of the first things I decided to do was to set up a leadership group. So I got 5 guys involved with that. One of them probably is a boy that I thought might have given me a bit of trouble, so I thought if I put him on board the leadership group, he would help us out, and he really has. He stood up and he's been an excellent part of that. I was lucky enough to get Ted along to a training session because I'd just been working with him, and he generously offered to come and be part of what we were doing. So Ted came along to one of my sessions and talked through the team about just commitment and team culture and everything. So I've really put a lot of emphasis on team culture this year, and I've done things like, luckily my wife is a good cook, so she's made soup. So we have soup night on Thursday nights after training, and generally don't talk about rugby, we just put some music on and have a few laughs and talk and just hang out. I started out the year really just basic work, really, just fundamentals, catch pass, some tackle basics, which I use a lot of Ben Herring's material and Graham Henry's, but I also went into my treasure trove of my library in the Rugby Site and went through that material pretty closely and took a whole lot of notes. And after our first 2 games, it made me realise that our breakdown work was pretty average. So I went in and studied Eddie Jones's material and Warren Gatlin's also, and really got a lot from that, and I applied a lot of those drills to my training sessions. In the next game out, the boys look much better in the breakdown area. But it really does work. Study it, have a look at what is relevant to your team at the time where you might be having trouble, and apply it to what you're doing, and then develop it, because as a coach, and what I've realised now is a lot of the times you can use this material as a great foundation to work from, but then you can apply a lot of your own thoughts and theories to it and develop those drills and make it your own. Challenges? Well, as you know, coaches, there's plenty of challenges within a rugby team. One of them has been me being able to secure my assistant coach for the year. He's a great guy, but he has lots of other commitments as well, so it's hard to peg him down on a regular basis. So I've had to do a lot of this my own. So I think for next year, my learning would be to have a better structure in place, a better rugby program, and that's something I'm really going to work on over the summertime. One series we got on the Rugby Site that I think is really useful for helping set up a rugby program as our school series. And I really highly recommend you go on there and have a look at that, because you've got 5 or 6 different schools from around the world with different rugby programs, but very successful schools at that. And so you can look and see how these different schools approach their rugby programs, what they put into it, the level of management and so forth. So I've really used that as a template for how I want to develop our team for next year and for coming years. And so I really highly recommend that you check out the school series on the Rugby Site. It's really worth it. So I've used Rugby Site extensively through my training this year. Every time I get stuck on a certain aspect of the game, or feel I need to sort of develop my repertoire that I bring to the table at my trainings, I just go straight onto the site and have a bit of a look around and find something new that I haven't applied, and there's always something new there that you can bring to the table. The players really find the material quite refreshing. A lot of it's obviously high-end stuff, but there's a lot of good starter coach material on there as well, and the guys are never that developed at this level to be applying just basic fundamentals to them. So I'm always taking them back to catch and pass. The stuff we've been doing with Mills Millie Iena on the site, the skills with Mills, you know, just basics of running, catching, passing and leaving in staggered lines and timing. Just little things like that make a big difference to the way a backline will run. And a lot of these guys that I've worked with in the past have always said, you know, keep it simple, do the basics well, and that's really what I'm trying to work on with these guys. So I'd just like to finish by saying have a lot of respect for you guys out there as coaches. You know, I'm new to it, and I know a lot of you have been doing it for a long time, and there might be some new coaches out there as well watching this. So look, I have a lot of respect for everything you guys do, and I totally understand now why you are coaches. It's an incredibly rewarding thing to get involved in, and need people like you out there to keep the game alive. So look, keep watching the Rugby Site over coming months. We have a lot of new material coming out from great coaches, so keep watching. Thanks.